Hello everyone. I am glad to be back, but I'm very sad that this will be our last one. I've got a different take on hats this month. When I was thinking about it, I just sort of put in research hats and crafting or just hats, and what came up was something very interesting I'd never known. There is a book by Edward de Bono called Six Thinking Hats. And as soon as I saw this, immediately I started going, I see that as us as crafters. So I want to talk about the six thinking hats. And so while I'm doing this, I'm just going to be gluing some stuff together, some little ephemera pockets that I made while I'm talking about this, just to keep it busy so you don't have to see all the writing. In the beginning story of the six thinking hats, there is a house. Think of a house. Actually, I think I'll do this first. We've got a house. And think that there is a house, and there are four people. We have a person standing here. We have a person standing here. A person here. And then we've got one that's behind the house. And they all start arguing, saying, no, this is what we're looking at. And the reason that is because every single person has a different perspective. But when they all come together in the front, and they're all right there, and they're all looking at that house from the same direction, they're seeing the same thing. They might argue on the tone of the orange or the yellow or whatever color the house is or the types of plants in the front, but they're all looking at the same direction now. And this is the basis of what Edward de Bono talks about in his book, The Six Thinking Hats. And this made me think of crafters. And how does these six thinking hats, and they are six different colored hats, apply to us as crafters? Well, it made me think. The first hat that he has and talks about is called the white hat. And this white hat is the information hat. It's objective. It's direct thinking. And it goes straight forward. It's what everything is. This is what it is. And you go like, well, what does that have to do with crafting? Well, this is the way I thought of it. As a crafter, this is the crafter who looks at a project that somebody has and replicates it exactly. They follow all the directions that the crafter, the original showed it. They use all the same materials, the same colors. If at all possible, they get the same digitals, the same materials, the same lace, whatever they're using, papers, and they make it look exactly like it. And that's the white hat crafter. Now, I want to give a disclaimer here. I am not saying one type of crafter is better than the other. And I'm not saying everybody is just one of these hats. But we are the six hat crafters. And we fit in all these categories. And we need to strive to have a little bit of every one of them in here, of them in us, to expand our crafting. So this white hat crafter is the one that can look at something, they get the directions, they make it, they use the same stuff, and everything's the same. Then we have the red hat crafter. The red hat legitimizes, expresses feelings and emotions. They're the one that says, I like this, I don't like this. And then they go and create their project. This is the one that looks at a project, sees the idea, uses their likes, their wants, their emotions, their feelings, and individualizes it. And they skip certain aspects, and they make it their own. They use the inspiration. Then we have a yellow hat crafter. This is the optimism, the positive, always looking for the upside. That's what that hat is, as Mr. de Bono explains it. I look at this crafter. This is the crafter that crafts without abandonment. They just sit down, they start crafting, no plan, no idea of materials. They just say, hey, I want to make a journal today. And when they sit down and start, they don't know what they're making or what they're doing. They craft without worry. They don't make a plan. They take chances. They just do. Not worried about what it turns out like, because they go, you know what? I'll make it work one way or the other. Then we have the black hat crafter. The black hat is the cautious and careful thinker. This crafter is the planner. They're the one who measures and double checks everything. They get an idea for a project. They're the one in the chats that say, hey, exactly how big is that paper? How many inches or centimeters is that? This is the planner, the measurer, the double measurer to make sure everything's right. Checks 2 or 3 times before they cut. They might even be the crafter that makes the kit and gets everything all put together in a box or a basket before they ever start a project. They're the note takers. That's the black hat crafter. Then we have the green hat crafter. The green hat thinker is the modifier, the one that improves. They go beyond what is obvious. So how does this go with crafters? Well, the green hat crafter is the crafter that sees an idea. Oh, that's a pretty cool idea. They sit down to start. Think they've got a plan in their mind. Think they're going to work on it. And they make it their own. And their finished project may resemble that first inspiration project, but it's their own. And they run with it. Now, the sixth thinker is the blue hat thinker. This is the thinker that defines the situation. It's the leader. It's the one that lays out the plan. That's the thinker. Now, how does this go with crafting and crafting? Well, the blue hat crafters, they are the crafters. They're the ones that we're pulling up their YouTube channels to watch for ideas and inspiration, or just because we enjoy their time. They're the ones that teach us, show us, the ones we go to over and over again. It might be the crafter that's in a Facebook group they're in, or in a group that you're in, that whenever somebody needs help, they're the one that offers the help. They're willing to help anyone. They're willing to show anyone, share any of their ideas, and say, here, come and do this with me. So Edward DeBone, the 6 thinking hats, and I will try to remember to link the short video about it, the thinking hats, in the description as well somewhere. Hopefully I will not forget. But that's who we're looking at. The white hat crafter, who replicates exactly. Does exactly what the person they're watching does. Follows along. That's their way of crafting. That's their comfort zone. We have the red hat thinker, who individualizes things. They use some of the inspiration from the original project, but they do what they like, what they feel. We have the yellow hat crafter that goes with the flow, crafts with reckless abandonment, without worry, without planning, and just does. We have a black craft thinker. It's the one that measures, double checks, wants the directions, wants to know what's going on, makes their kit before they start. They're very cautious and careful about where they go. Very particular about where things are. Then we have the green hat crafter. This crafter takes an idea, takes an inspiration, and runs with it and comes up with something totally different. Then we have the blue hat crafter. The ones that's our teachers. The ones that's our leaders. The ones we look at. The ones that's always there to help. No matter what. They're there, our encouragers. I hope you enjoyed my little take on hats for this month. And I encourage you, try to take a little bit of all these hats and build your crafting. Go out of your comfort zone. If you're that one that's the planner, that sticks, knows, you're the black hat, that everything has to be so-so, well, you know what? Take that black hat off and put that yellow hat on. And just sit down and start making something no matter what. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Mary, I appreciate everything you've done for us in these videos and wish I could have participated more. You have given me a new look on crafting, pushed me to do videos, and I appreciate it so much. See ya.